Hey, Philip, I want to ask you, once you lost your starting left tackle, Anthony Castonzo, you guys were moving the ball very well in those first two drives. Did you get a sense that, like, Tennessee increased their pressure even more on you guys as far as trying to, get to you even quicker?
I think they did ramp up the pressure and pressure a heck of a lot more than they did in the first outing. Was it in correspondence to the injuries up front? I don't know. I thought the guys up front fought their tail off. We started off great those first two drives, and then we obviously hit that 6-series lull. I think we ended all 6 possessions, 5 of them with a punt, and then the one, long interception. That just wasn't very good, and that was a lot of reasons. And what sums it up is just a lack of execution. They did mix up some things more than they had. I don't think it was anything necessarily that we hadn't seen or that we weren't prepared for. We just didn't execute well enough during that 6 possession stretch. And, we got a few touchdowns late, but just wasn't enough, obviously.
Kevin Bowen.
Philip, it looked like a couple times after plays you were maybe testing your foot out. How was that? How was the toe? How to hold up?
It was fine. Obviously, we started well, and it had no effect on my play.
Zach Kiefer.
Phil, what was the message in the locker room after the game? 5 games to go, playoff spot.
Shoot. It's somewhat. Not necessarily that exact message, but as big as this one was, it's one game, and it's just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It's a week-to-week league. Huge win against Tennessee on the road, huge win against the Packers, and now here we sit, and now what are we? So it's a week-to-week league, and that's why, as I know Coach has told you guys, he's told us we can't ride that wave. We can't ride that wave. We have to just dig back in. Look at our play critically and regroup for another division game on the road next week. There's 5 to play. A lot can happen in 5 weeks, as we know. But we're the same guys that pulled in here 5 hours ago, the exact same guys. And certainly we just got to play better. They outplayed us today, and shoot, they won the game.
Jim Aiello.
Yeah, Philip, I'm sure Danny did his best to replace Ryan Kelly today, but a veteran like Ryan helping you pick up pressures and identify pressure, and how challenging was that without Ryan today?
Yeah, I think Danny did a heck of a job. Danny's in his first start, rookie, and I thought he did a heck of a job. Obviously, I'm not evaluating or grading his play, but I'm saying I thought he did a heck of a job handling it the way he did. I thought we did good as far as identifying all the pressure stuff. There were some where I'd like to helped our backs out a couple times, but I thought Danny stepped in and did a nice job. At the same time, you want to compliment Ryan because you're replacing arguably the best center in the league. But Danny did an admirable job stepping up.
Bremer.
Philip, I know you don't want to ride the roller coaster, but as you get into the last month of the season, does the margin for error shrink? Do you have to be a little more on your details now?
Well, I think you always do, and it's what we that's the culture we have here. We didn't do it well enough today, but I don't know that you can talk about the details and fundamentals and technique and all those things more than we do, and more than we emphasize it, more than we practice it, and really more than we all believe it. We just didn't get that done today. So yes, but I think yes, it does. But these 5 weeks are just as important as the first 5. It's one at a time. But certainly the consequences, although they all count the same, so you can point back to any one loss. But yes, the consequences are at the same time the reward, I guess, based on how these last 5 weeks is a little more. I guess it's a little more magnified because of what now of where everybody sits.
Thanks, Phil.
We can't worry about that. We got the Texans on the road. That's really all we can worry about. What did we not do well enough this week? How can we get better? And then how do we find a way to beat the Texans? That's really all we should worry about at this point.